Hi, it's Lipstick Al. Thanks for watching today. I wanted to do a get ready with me. I wanted to use some products that have recently kind of been added to my collection. Some of them I haven't tried yet, and some of them I've tried once. And I thought today would be a great day to kind of put it all on and show you what it looks like. Before we get started, if you haven't already subscribed, would you please? I'm trying to upload 2 times a week on a regular basis. I've been fairly good about that, except for around the holidays. And my goal is maybe to work up to 3 times a week. But right now, it's every Monday and Wednesday. I'm thinking about Monday, Thursday. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for being subscribed, and let's jump into it. So I have 2 primers here. One that I got in my lucky bag. This is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, and the shade is Apricot Haze. And then another one that I just picked up. I've been using a sample of this for a long time, and you don't need a lot because the only place I use it is around my nose. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this, whoop, it's white, across here to help keep my nose, which gets really oily, to keep it kind of on the matter side. And what I like about this is it doesn't end up making my skin feel like dry, like sucked in dry, but it keeps a lot of my product from breaking up around my nose, because it usually happens corners of my nose and top of my nose. And I even take it like down here right over the septum. And so we're gonna shake this up, because last time I squirted this out, I didn't shake it. Okay, that should be enough. And then, oh, it's very liquidy. Look at that go. And we'll put this everywhere else. Let me know if you've tried this primer. I thought I used to have this primer, and it wasn't this one. It was a different, but it felt more like a really heavy silicone primer. One that had a lot of body to it. And if you didn't press it in, and I didn't learn this until after I had returned it, because do you see how I'm kind of rubbing things across the surface of my face? That's usually what I do with primer. But the other one that I used to have came in a little brown tube from Becca, and you had to press it in as opposed to swiping it, because I could never get it to work without balling up, and then all my product on top balled up, and it was not a good thing. So we'll see what we think about this. I'm going to just be using my CC Cream Illumination from It Cosmetics for some light coverage. The concealer I wanted to try today is this new one from L'Oreal. This is the Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I kind of had the idea, because this is brand new, that it kind of went in conjunction with their Fresh Wear, their 24-hour Fresh Wear. I don't think so, because when I opened it up, by the way, I have the shade 330 Ivory. I was like, oh, it looks very much like a Shape Tape dupe, with a big giant doe foot applicator. Even this, if you look just at the packaging, it has the same style bottle, a larger bottle instead of a narrower bottle. And then it said full wear, and it says more than concealer. It's like, oh, maybe it's not more of this fresh wear look, maybe it's more of the let's hide all our sins. So we're gonna put this on. I'm gonna put it on very lightly instead of just swiping it on, and we'll see how much of this we need. For years, and just probably in the last like 6 to 8 months, I've made a change. I always went for the lightest shade in concealer because I am quite fair. And I realized that in the last probably 9 months, because for years I've been really sick and I'd been in bed bound 16 hours a day for 5.5 years, and my skin had gotten really pale. And this last summer was the first summer after having 3 brain surgeries in 2017 that I was like, oh, I can get up, I can do things. So I was up and I was out at the pool with my kids, and we were out doing stuff this summer, and my skin is not as fair as it used to be. So like, okay, you can't wear the lightest concealer and the lightest foundation anymore. You need to wear something slightly darker. So wow, oh, that's a lot of coverage. That's a lot. And I always, when I tilt my head down and you still see a little bit of it here, it does lighten things up quite a bit. I also have, you can see it a little bit here, like a little dark spot here on both sides. You can see it a little bit here too. So I guess for me, I'm always measuring concealers by how much it hides without looking too cakey. Of course, I could always layer on more and more and more and more, but my goal is not necessarily to put on so much that it ends up creasing and caking. If it looks good for a video, fine, but what about real everyday wear when I leave the house? Am I gonna look like my face is about to crack and fall off? Or does it look like, okay, yeah, you're wearing makeup, but you look like the better version of you? And that's my goal. All right. So that's me with some of this concealer. I think this would be one of those that if you find the right shade, it does give a lot of coverage. I was tapping it in with my finger. I wasn't getting the coverage I like, so I bumped it up to a brush. And then I could really see it kind of settling in the pores, where if you were to like zoom in really close to my face, you would see it more like a little bit more pigmented in each single pore pocket. And then I decided to go over and kind of press it with a sponge, which I feel kind of sometimes sucks up that excess product, and it looks much more blended and much more natural at this point, which is kind of what I'm going for. I kind of get the feeling this is not a natural concealer, but if you're wanting something heavy duty, and this is in the $8-9 range. I'll make sure and put the price up on the screen for you. But it's definitely, it does remind me a lot. It's reminiscent of Shape Tape. I haven't done a side-by-side. I'm sure you could find a video regarding that. But my first inclination is it doesn't remind me of the Tarte Radiant Creamy. It doesn't remind me of like the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away. It definitely reminds me more Tarte Shape Tape, just so you know. One thing I have been loving is this contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I love this so much. I feel like it gives me just enough cheekbones. So we're going to put a little bit of this on here. And I had this for several weeks. And my problem was I forgot to put it on before my powder. And then I was like, well, now it's too late. No, I can't. Let me see if I can just quickly tap this in here. I'm just going to lightly set my under eyes and lightly over the rest of my face with my Maybelline Fit Me. My goal for this new year was to find more products at the drugstore that really wowed me. And so far, I think I'm off to a really good start. I'm going to throw on a little bit of my Hoola Lite for bronzer today. The blush I'm going to be using is brand new. This is one you've probably seen in a lot of different places. It's from Burt's Bees. This is the blush in Toasted Cinnamon. I have been wanting to get this and wanting to get this, and every time I go looking for it, it's out of stock. So thank you, Kathleen Lights. I know this is your favorite, and apparently everyone's favorite, but I finally found it. Okay. I still haven't figured out how to open it yet. Okay, finally got it open. Let's put this puppy on. Oh, it looks very pigmented. We're going to knock a little bit of that off. It's a very warm blush. I'm just going to grab a little bit of the Magic Powder from Charlotte Tilbury and just buff a little bit of this over the top. Makes it look really nice. Oh, I love it. I'm dropping everything, and the lid wasn't on, and there's powder all over the floor. Oh, of course. I have to pick it up in a minute because it makes me too sad to do it right now. All right, so let's just highlight. That should make me feel better. Oh, so sad. I am going to put on, you know, I have not been able to stop reaching for this. This is the Bar of Gold palette from Charlotte Tilbury. Since I got it at the kind of beginning mid of last month. Oh, I love it. And I love the way it looks. I hadn't been as in love with the highlight palette. Boy, there's been like maybe, well, there's the one from Glam that I love that's in my project pan for this year. I thought that'll be easy to use up. That's my favorite. That's the one that I was consistently reaching for. And now this has displaced it. Maybe I have the wrong thing in my project pan, but I would hate to use this up. I might, but Okay, let's put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Just a hair on the chin. I don't know about you, but I just highlight everywhere. I like to go in a figure eight around my eyes, so I hit around the tops of my brows, the bridge of my nose. I think it always gives a really nice highlighted look. I got this soft glam palette in my Lucky bag from Beautylish, and I basically only like finger swatched a few of these, so I thought I'd use this today just because I hadn't used it yet. Before I do, I'm going to prime my eyes with a MAC paint pot. This is Painterly, another one that I've had for such a long time, and I probably need to. This should have gone in my project pan. Maybe it will be a late addition, just so that I can remember to use it. Because although it does have a little divot in it, it's nowhere near as well loved or used as it should be. So I think I'm going to start with the shade Rustic. It's right here. Just a little bit of that. Just for some fun, I thought it might be nice, because I've got the warm blush on, to put a little bit of the orange soda, maybe a little bit farther up above the crease. I'm going to throw a little bit of this dark brown, this Cypress Umber, kind of in that outer V, darken it up a smidge. I think I'm going to go with Fairy. It's a very pretty bright gold. Oh, look at that. So lovely. And I'm just going to drop a little bit of glistening kind of right here in the inner corner. Oh, it's a lot. I'm going to use a liner brush to push a little combination of the black and the darkest brown kind of into my lash line. So I'm going to quickly tight line, curl my lashes, put on some mascara, and do my brows. I'll be right back. I threw a little bit of my $2 e.l.f. brow pencil into my brows today. I also used a ColourPop liner. This is their cream gel in Stomper. This is what I reach for regularly for my tight line, because I find it doesn't budge. I don't get any transfer to my lower waterline. I love that. And then I threw on some of this Flower Beauty The Warrior mascara, and then I realized I wanted a little bit more than what it was giving me, so I threw on, I have a sample of the YSL The Shock, and that's what I put over, and they look a little bit fuller, a little bit more volumized. I also threw on, I forgot about this, and I was going to do it before I finished my shadow, but I threw it on right at the end. It's from Stila. It's the Glitter and Glow. The shade is Embellish, and I kind of popped that like right in the center of the lid. So that's what I finished there, and I was thinking about lips, what I should do, and I thought, you know, I really love a nude lip. I'm starting to really love nude lips. Before it was always bright colors, bright colors, bright colors, like bright fuchsias, orangey reds, full-on reds, deep reds, wine tones. Excuse me, I'm a little sick. But recently I've really fallen for nudes, and I realized I'm rediscovering some that I have in my collection. So this one is from the Lipstick Queen. This is a Velvet Rope lipstick, and the shade here is called Star System. So we're going to throw a little bit of that on. I just realized I still had some lip balm on. I was like, boy, this is very glossy. And it's not, because the Velvet Ropes are all matte. But since I didn't take off my Laneige sleeping mask, lip mask, it's very glossy and glowy. And I thought I'd over the top of that, because I did want kind of a glossy look, was to throw on some of this. This is from Clé de Peau. This is the Radiant Liquid Rouge number 11. So no name, just a number. This has a slightly more peachy lean to it than the lipstick. I felt like the lipstick was definitely more of a neutrally nude. Still though, I like this. All right, so yeah, we're kind of using a combination of some favorite drugstore as well as a few new things, and then just eternal favorites, and then some rediscoveries, because these are definitely falling in that rediscovered category. Thank you so much for watching today. Let me know what sort of videos you're interested in seeing, if there are products you're curious about. I would love to know. Thanks for being subscribed, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.